Hey guys, welcome back to a new episode of the shop. Welcome to my shop again. So today, other than it being 9,000 degrees inside and outside and I'm sweating my butt off, we're going to be working on my wife's Expedition again. Got new brake rotors all the way around, got new brake pads front and rear. Look at how massive these brake pads are for the front compared to, like, I don't know, a Chevy Impala or a Chevy Malibu brake pads. Look at the difference. I know they're heavy duty and I know they're big, but that is just gigantic. So we're gonna be doing that because the car's from the north. It's got a lot of rust. So I'm gonna clean up some rust and everything while I'm doing this, and going through the motion with that, and it's gonna be a hot day. So I'll start trying to pull and beat and pry these wheels off so I can get new rotors on there so this doesn't happen again, to where they're fused together from salt and water, because it sucks. I'll show y'all what I'm talking about in just a minute. I'll probably knock out this rear one because I just had to pull the wheel off of it a couple of days ago, so I know how bad it was. The fronts are going to be bad. The back, the other side, on the driver's side, is going to be horrible. So let's get to it. Alright, take a look at this. All this up here. All this up here. Even this. Look at this. All that rust just comes right off this dust shield. And you see the brake caliper and the bracket for it. I'm going to take a wire wheel to it, and then we're going to paint it. Knock it all off. Even the brake pads back here have rust on them. So we're going to clean some of this up, make sure all this comes off easy, and make it pretty and shiny and make it work better. So let me pull this caliper off and everything. Alright, so I got the caliper off sitting back there. I've got the bracket off right here. You can just see the rust pile up and everything. These pads are pretty worn good too. The rotors aren't bad on the surface, but they are on there. So I'm going to squirt some WD-40 and try and loosen all this crap up. Alright, safety first. We're going to just chip some of this rust off, and then we're going to put a coat of paint on it. And then put it back on. I'm not worried about it drying right now because there's no rain or anything else, and I don't have any time to sit here and let it dry. So we're just going to knock all the rust off and then spray a good coat of black spray paint. Alright, finally, after some good beating and everything else, I got to clean this up right here, the surface, because that's where this rotor is getting held up on. But it took some beating, but I mean, rotor looks decent, but since it's seized up to the wheel before, figured I might as well replace it. Replace everything I got to, so making this job a little bit better. The shoes for the parking brake don't look bad, so I'm just going to leave them the way they are, because as long as you don't ride on them and everything, you'll be good. So now I'm going to clean this up with a wire wheel and get some of this other rust knocked off, and throw a coat of paint, throw the other rotor on, new pads, and get to the front and see how bad that's going to be. example of why you wear the proper equipment. Yeah, that's gonna leave a little scar. So, knock some skin off. I'll be okay, I'm not dying. Just gotta throw a napkin on it and keep on going. Yeah, go figure. Here's my gloves right next to where I was working. I'm an idiot. So, anyway, clean this off a little bit, bleed a little bit. Boop, boop, boop. Yep. Oh, got some brake part cleaner. Gonna spray off everything, clean it, let it dry. Looks like I have a tear in my boot. I gotta fix that later, but I'm not gonna deal with it right now. So I'm gonna throw some brake cleaner on it, clean it, and then throw some paint on it. Alright, I put this bracket back on. I've taped off over the pads. Got some rust protector. I know it's not probably the greatest. It's not automotive use, but it'll work. It goes to metal, and I'm just looking for a coating to keep surface rust away. So I'm going to shake this up. I'm going to throw a coat on here, and then throw a coat on the brake caliper once I get the brakes on. And yes, I will tape that rotor as well so that I don't get it all over the rotor face or something like that. And yeah, I know I'm doing this halfway, but I don't have time. I don't really care to make it 100% brand new again. I'm just trying to knock some years off. So make sure whenever you're putting your new rotors on, clean it with some brake cleaner and wipe off the surface, because this one came packaged with some lubricant on it so it wouldn't rust. So spray a little bit on, wipe all the surfaces that are going to touch brake pads, including the interior, the parking brake. Alright, don't touch that surface again. Do the outside. Look at how pretty that thing is. It's 10 million times better than the old one. Tap it on a little bit. It is off just a hair, but it will work. It looks so much better. Another tip for when you're messing with calipers, if you've never done this before, it's not that bad. You learn, create experience, you learn. So taking the old brake pad, press it right here. Taking a C-clamp, putting it on a surface where it's not going to break anything. If I can get it on here. Oh. So, there we go. And then just turn it, and you'll watch this plunger go up. Resets the brake. Ta-da! Oh, learned something. I haven't done research on this, so you have to take this bracket off because it comes as a whole assembly with caliper. Some things don't. Some things you slide the brake pads in, and then you put the caliper on top, and you're done. This you kind of gotta make it work. But in any sense, I gotta find my little dust cap. There it is. All right, these dust caps, they go back here in those little holes. You got that little star bit back there. So put that over it. Make sure no dirt gets in it for next time. So you have replacements and brake kit for all of them. So good. It's done. One more wipe down, a little bit of paint up here, and I'm done. Let me do that. Oh, bending over kills my back. Whew. It's hot. As you see, I got that one off. But in the process, my 21 millimeter didn't fare up so well against these crappy crappy lug nuts. So after it killing a few, I'm gonna have to go get some new ones after this. I'm beat. Well, this time, instead of pulling everything out first, I'm gonna wire wheel the top part of the caliper right there first, and use protective gloves instead of using my hand as a backup, so I don't end up with another boo-boo. Then pull these brakes off, replace them, repeat fronts. So you already know what I did on the passenger side. This wheel came off quite easy for the way the other one came off last time. So yeah, just gonna skip forward and we're just gonna go straight to the front, so you don't have to sit here and watch me repeat everything I've already done once. So see you in a second. So yeah, it's hot. Getting done with this. Working on the passenger side. I've already done the driver's side front. The front doesn't look as bad as the back with rust and everything else, so I'm not worried about painting it right now. Although the calipers would look better black rather than kind of a surface rust. But I don't have time for that today, so we're going to just knock this out. You have this little clip right here, which you can just pry off with a, not that way, this way. Just got a little hook. Alright, it's got little hooks in it, as you see. So put that to the side because you're going to have to use that again because it doesn't come with brakes. You got your same little Torx bit in the back. I got a T45 taken off just like the back. Taking the caliper off. Then we got to remove the bracket for the caliper. Then we got to press this out. We got 2 bolts for that, and I don't know where I put them. Put them somewhere. So 2 bolts go, one here. Tighten them up, and the caliper or the rotor pops out because it's kind of pressed in. So let's get to it. Alright, for this next step, you need an old brake pad. Put it in here like so. C-clamps, possibly 2. Just like the back, put it on here, and you gotta compress that piston right there until it's all the way in. Otherwise, you will struggle with putting the brake caliper back on with the pads on the new rotor because it's not worn at all. And yes, it's hot, I'm dripping everywhere. Alright, as you can see, it's compressed all the way back in. So now we shouldn't have any issues putting the brake pads on and then sliding it over the bracket on the rotor. But first we're going to get these bolts and pop this thing off. Alright, new rotor's on. Yep. So, that's going to put this bracket back on. So, let's put this huge bracket back on, and then we will be a little bit closer to being done. Make sure you wipe the rotor itself with brake cleaner so you don't leave, I'm sideways, sorry about that, so you don't leave any residue where it won't embed the pads like it's supposed to. So, put this on. Alright, got the bracket on there, pads in place. Let's knock this out, get my trash out the way. Alright, got these clips in. Make sure you line everything. Don't break the bolts because I almost did because they were sticking out like they shouldn't. Alright, we're going to tighten these things up and be done. Alright, said and done. Alright. Yes, I am soaking wet. It's hot. It's been a long day. Longer than I expected. Had a couple mishaps, but fixed them so you could have a short video on everything instead of a 4-hour long video on me whining and crying because it's hot and I'm sweating and things aren't going the way I want. So, I want to thank you for joining me. Any thing y'all want to see, just let me know in the comments. If you like the video, cool, give me a thumbs up. Got more to come. Got more on this very soon. More on this sometime soon. And hopefully even sooner than the other two. Plus more boat stuff. I'm hoping before next weekend because we're taking the boat out again and I would like to have stuff done. So, if you want shirts like this, cool shirts, go to Teespring, find the shop, and order you some shirts. And some stickers, hit me up on Instagram. Cool stickers. Apologize for the mess. I got a mess in my shop. As always a mess. If you're not having a messy shop, you might not be doing anything. Or you're just lazy and don't have time to clean it, because there's all my boxes from today. There's some boxes for later. More boxes, just collecting parts. So, appreciate you tuning in. Check out my other buddies. Check out the Subaru. Check out the VW bus on Bombero Bus channel. I'll put a link right there for that. So, till next time.